Hello everybody and welcome back. So I just uploaded a movie haul yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. I'm already back with another one. Reason being as I saw some videos on YouTube of people finding more movies at Dollar Tree. Apparently they're restocking right now for some reason. I apologize for the noise, but I hope that's not too distracting for you. So I went out this morning and hit the 3 Dollar Trees that are in my area. We have 3 in Athens, which is good. I was able to get a pretty good haul together. Some pretty decent pickups, in my opinion. Some that that were cool that I want, things that I've seen before, and some stuff that I haven't seen at all. I haven't seen these movies, but they looked, the synopsis sounded interesting, or I've heard people talking about them. So yeah, it's been a while since I have gone to any Dollar Trees hunting movies. It's been since Christmas time last year, whenever the big restock happened, everyone went cuckoo for those. But I'm glad that they're finally restocking. I'll probably check back maybe next week and see if they've gotten anything new. But for now, let me go ahead and show you what I got. I've got DVDs and I've got Blu-rays. So I'm going to show the DVDs first. And first up, we have this show I watched as a kid on Nickelodeon. And I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. And it may be the fact that, it may not hold up. But it's Hey Dude, Season 1. I thought this movie was the 90s. It actually premiered in 1989. So it was right before the 90s. I used to watch this show and Wild and Crazy Kids a lot on Nickelodeon. I was a Nickelodeon kid. I was not a Disney Channel kid. I was Nickelodeon all the way. This is about 5 hours, it says. And if you don't know what Hey Dude's about, that's fine. Many people may not, because, like I said, this is just one of those I don't hear people talk a lot about. Let's get all 13 episodes in Season 1. Come on down to Bar None Ranch and follow the summer antics of ranch owner Benjamin Ernest. Or is it Ernest or Ernst? I think it might be Ernst, and his diverse crew of teens as they work and play on a dude ranch in Arizona. Hey Dude premiered in 1989 on Nickelodeon and quickly became a fan favorite with its hip, young cast and comedic, if not touching storylines set against an authentic Southwestern backdrop. But yeah, so, it's only Season 1. It's not the full thing, but that's fine. It's still cool to have some of them. These are the discs. Pretty nice. And then the inside actually has each episode, what the episode's called and what it's about, which is awesome. So a nice little set here, and for $1 especially. So I'll have to look up and see, if they have the rest of them in this format or not, anywhere online, or maybe Dollar Tree will end up getting them at some point. So that's pretty sweet. Next up is a bunch of movies I've never seen before, but it's fine. There's a couple that I have seen, but for $1, we got a 20 movie collection called Nightmare Fuel, and this is what caught my eye. I knew exactly what that movie was from, and it's the original House on Haunted Hill, which I enjoy. I like both the original and the 2000 remake. But it's got a lot of movies that I've never even heard of before. But some of the cast here, it says Brandon Lee, Dennis Quaid, Mark Hamill, Shannon Tweed, John Candy, Bill Paxton, Jesse Ventura, Vincent Price, and Christopher Lee. Some of the movies here, I'll just name them off. We have Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe, Bloody Pit of Horror, The Cocaine Fiends, Count Dracula and His Vampire Bride, Driller Killer, Drive-In Massacre, End of the World, The Firing Line, Hands of Steel, Hercules Against the Moon Men, House on Haunted Hill, It Seemed Like a Good Idea at the Time, Laser Mission, Manos, The Hands of Fate, Morons from Outer Space, Reefer Madness, which I have heard of that one for sure, The Seniors, Silent Night, Bloody Night, Slipstream, and Warriors of the Wasteland. Then inside there are 4 CDs, 4 discs with all the movies that's on that particular disc, and they all look just the same. So, for $1 I could not turn that down, especially considering I really like House on Haunted Hill, and I don't have it. I don't own it in my collection, so why not for $1? For $1, just that movie alone is worth it. So why not? And eventually I'll end up watching the other ones when I'm bored. I mean, a lot of these I don't even think Tubi has had. But approximate runtime, 27 hours and 42 minutes. So almost 28 hours of movies on there. Next up, we have another little collection. Here is Jackie Chan, Martial Mayhem. And the movies Eagle Shadow Fist, Young Tiger, Fantasy Mission Force, and Fire Dragon. I've never seen any of these movies before. But I really do like Jackie Chan a lot. Police Story, Rumble in the Bronx, Operation Condor. All of those movies he's just so good. I've never seen any of these. But some of them sound really interesting. It says, let's see, Eagle Shadow Fist, a historical movie set during the Japanese occupation of China during World War II, in which a group of Chinese rebels tries to oust the Japanese forces from a small town. That one doesn't really sound like my cup of tea. Honestly, I'm not really big into war movies, but or historical type war movies. That's fine though. We've got Young Tiger. Incriminating evidence against a gang is left in a cab when a gang member dies in it. The gang chases the innocent cab driver who receives help from the dead gangster's sister, a tough police woman. So I'm assuming that Jackie Chan plays the cab driver in this. Kind of his usual trope of being, wrong place, wrong time type deal. But that one sounds interesting. I do like the sound of that. Then we've got Fantasy Mission Force. This one's got the longest synopsis of all 4 of them. It says, Japan is attempting to take over the world and the United Forces are trying to stop them. When 4 top Chinese generals are taken hostage, a small ragtag group of mercenary soldiers are gathered as a commando squad under the leadership of Captain Don Win and sent on a suicide mission. Win is gunned down, but the rest decide to continue the mission with the aid of ex-wrestler Sammy, Jackie Chan, and his former manager, Emily, who basically tail the group and intervene when necessary. However, as things unwind, all is definitely not as it seems. That one sounds interesting as well. Also, like, Jackie Chan being an ex-wrestler. That's cool. Last is Fire Dragon. It says, during a Japanese attack on Chinese forces, a group of loners and fighters are put together to try and rescue their generals and save the war effort. So a lot of war-type movies in this collection, but still, willing to give them a shot. Maybe I'll look up if there's trailers or something for these movies before I actually end up deciding to watch. But like I said, I'm really a real big fan of Jackie Chan. This one was apparently released in 2014 and is 354 minutes. And then the disc is just like that, which is pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to checking those out. Next up, a double feature. I haven't seen either one of these movies, but I've heard a lot about them, especially the one. And that is The Losers and Rock'n'Rolla. Now, I think I've seen this one before at Dollar Tree, back last year when the whole thing was going on with Dollar Tree. But, The Losers I definitely want to see, mainly because of the cast. The cast is really good. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Chris Evans is in it, Idris Elba, Zoe Saldana is in it, which played Gamora in the MCU. So there's a really good cast in that one, as well as, even with Rock and Rolla, Idris Elba is in it as well. Gerard Butler, I think, is the main character. We've got Tom Hardy, Jeremy Piven. The synopsis are really brief on the back of this. For The Losers, it just says that The Losers centers around the members of an elite special forces unit sent on a search and destroy mission. Rock and Rolla, it said, add gangster Lenny Cole, a small timer, an accountant, and some wannabe music moguls, and you've got rock and roll. You've got a real rock and roller. So, but I am really looking forward to watching The Losers finally, and I'll check out Rock and Rolla. I'm not a big fan of Guy Ritchie's style of filmmaking, really. But, I'll probably end up checking out since I have it. And then the disc, and I like that each of these are on their own. We've got The Losers and Rock and Rolla. So that way, if you don't like one and you like the other, you can just give one of them away and it's no issue. You don't have to have a movie that you don't like in your collection. I always like that when they separate them. Last but not least, with the DVDs, this one here I was looking for last year. I've been wanting to own this movie for a long time, and I finally found it, and I can't believe I got this for $1. I've almost broken down and bought this from Amazon, but for $8 to $10. So I'm glad I waited. And that one is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And that's the little insert there that was, on the front. And there is the original cover. It's definitely more terrifying. Really, really love this here. I loved the series of movies that they did. This artist series was really, really sweet. And then they all came with this little coloring book here. And then it has a little thing about the artist, which is cool. The artist is Orlando Erosina, I think. Mexifunk is an artist and graphic designer who works in traditional and digital mediums. But this was a whole thing that was only available at Walmart, and they had a whole series of new and older horror movies. Really, really want this Return of the Living Dead, because I want that one anyway, because I love that movie and I don't own it, but I really, really love that cover a lot. And then the other ones are on the back here. I have I have the Jeepers Creepers, the Child's Play, and I believe the Carrie. I think I picked up that Carrie one as well. But these are great. All of them are really, really cool. Wouldn't mind having all the inserts for those if I could. The Hills Have Eyes. 28 Days Later, Black Swans, really, really cool. And then it's a little kind of like a paint by, not really a paint by numbers, but sort of without the numbers. Little coloring thing. It's basically all the covers that you can color, because I've had a couple of these. So if you've never seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, what are you doing? No, I'm just kidding. But if you've never seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, It says, finally the truth about clowns is out. Beneath their smirky, sinister grins and wildly patterned clothes are clever killers from out of this world. It says, a spaceship looking like a circus tent lands in a field near a small town, signaling the attack of deviant, red-nosed, balloon-twisting psychos from another world who plan to annihilate mankind by turning people into cotton candy. Luckily, the town's teen citizenry decides to fight back and teach the cosmic bozos a lesson. But these clowns are no klutzes, turning popcorn, peanuts, and caramel corn into playful but deadly weapons of madcap destruction and mayhem. Very campy. If you like campy horror, watch Killer Clowns if you haven't already. Do not take it too seriously, because if you take it too seriously, you're not going to enjoy it. I actually had this introduced to me. My first wife introduced this to me. She loved this movie, especially as a kid. We watched it. I didn't understand. I really didn't care for it. But a few years ago, I think I caught it on Tubi or something like that for free, and I decided to rewatch it and really enjoyed it. And it's now one of my favorites, and I've watched it a couple more times since then. I enjoy it more every time I watch it. But yeah, don't take it too seriously or you will not enjoy it. This movie's been on Tubi a couple of times. But I wanted to own it because I didn't want to, I wanted to have it readily available for when I wanted to watch it. And for $1, that's a steal. If you can find that at Dollar Tree, $1 is such a steal. I know some people have found it on Blu-ray, which is even better, and I wish that I could get the Blu-ray version. But, just to have it at all is awesome. But that is the end of the DVD portion of the Dollar Tree pickups. We're going to move on to the Blu-rays. There are 6 of them. One of them I have seen before. The others I've never seen before. And I'll start with the one I've seen, and that is Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz, Justin Timberlake, and Jason Segel. I've only watched this once, maybe twice. It's been a long time, but I remember enjoying it and being surprised enjoying it. I think I watched it for free. I think it was like on Netflix or something like that, maybe Amazon Prime. But I'm not a big Cameron Diaz fan. There's only 2 movies that I really enjoy her in, and that is The Mask and The Sweetest Thing. Other than that, I'm just, not big on Cameron Diaz. But this movie, I thought was pretty good. I don't think it's laugh out loud funny, but it was enjoyable. And I really like Jason Segel, and I'll watch just about anything that he's in because I enjoy him in pretty much every movie that I've seen him in. What the movie is about. Elizabeth Halsey, played by Cameron Diaz, is a foul-mouthed, ruthless, and inappropriate teacher. She drinks, she gets high, and she can't wait to marry a meal ticket to get her out of her bogus day job. When she's dumped by her fiancé, she sets her sights on a rich husband substitute, played by Justin Timberlake, while shrugging off the advances of the school gym teacher, Jason Segel. Okay, see, I didn't remember what role he played in the movie, but there you go. The consequences of her wild and outrageous schemes give her students, co-workers, and even herself an education like no other. But yeah. Includes both the rated and unrated theatrical versions. And it's both Blu-ray and DVD. And it has, the standard deleted scenes, outtakes, all that jazz. And then first you got the Blu-ray disc and the DVD disc. So that's the one I have seen. The rest I have not. And I picked up because I either heard good things or they just sounded interesting. First of all, this one. I've heard a lot about it over the years. And it's been on Tubi before, but I still have yet to watch it. But, here you go. It is Hobo with a Shotgun. This is apparently the collector's edition. Comes with a digital code and everything. I've heard about it for many years. People talk about this movie, about it being really good, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's an indie type movie, and people don't really expect those movies to be good or be great anyway. But yeah, it's a Magnolia Home Entertainment in Magnet, and what it's about. Let's see. A train pulls into the station at the end of the line. A hobo jumps from a freight car hoping for a fresh start in a new city. Instead, he finds himself trapped in an urban hell. This is a world where criminals rule the streets, and Drake, the city's crime boss, reigns supreme alongside of his sadistic, murderous sons, Slick and Ivan. Amidst the chaos, the hobo comes across a pawn shop window displaying a second-hand lawnmower. He dreams of making the city a beautiful place and starting a new life for himself. But as the brutality continues to rage around him, he notices a shotgun hanging above the lawnmower. Quickly, he realizes the only way to make a difference in this town is with that gun in his hand and 2 shells in its chamber. So, I heard it's insanely violent. It's, very... it kind of harkens back to the exploitation film days, but a lot of people seem to really enjoy this, so I decided to pick it up and give it a watch finally, and really liked the cover as well. Pretty sweet, because it kind of looks like an exploitation movie poster you would see outside a theater. Alright, next up, another movie I've heard so much about, and I want to say it was a Shudder original, or is a Shudder original, but it doesn't say it on here, and that is Trick. Has a nice slipcover, it's pretty sweet. But I've heard a lot about this. Got Omar Epps, Jamie Kennedy, and Tom Atkins. Thrill me. But yeah, heard a lot about this. A lot of people say that it's really good. I have yet to see it, and like I said, I think it was a Shudder original, but again, it does not say. But anyway, what it's about: on Halloween night in 2015, Patrick Trick Weaver massacred his classmates at a costume party. After being arrested, he managed to escape police custody, but not before being shot 5 times by Detective Mike Denver. Everyone believes Trick must be dead, but when a masked killer reappears the following Halloween, and every Halloween after that, they realize the nightmare is not over. With Trick wreaking havoc and killing people in increasingly terrifying ways, Denver will stop at nothing to finish what he started and bring the carnage to an end. So yeah. But there it is, and then there is the disc. So really excited to finally be able to give this a watch. It looks cool, or it sounds interesting. And like I said, I've heard a lot about it, and it's apparently from the director of My Bloody Valentine, and I assume that is the remake of My Bloody Valentine. So, which I enjoy that movie as well. Not so much the original. The original was poop. I finally watched that recently, and yeah. That's just my opinion, though. Next up, another one I've heard a lot about, and this is another one, and I don't know if it's just because it's one that, people found a Dollar Tree for $1 and decided to pick it up, and, weren't expecting a lot, but ended up getting, something good, but that is Cheap Thrills. What doesn't kill you makes you richer. Pat Healy, Sarah Paxton, Ethan Embry, David, I think it's Koechner is his name, from Anchorman, and, pretty much all the comedy movies. It comes with a digital copy. there is the disc. Has a reversible insert, which is cool. But what it's about, if you have not seen it or you have not heard about it, I will tell you. Text is so tiny. A darkly comic thriller, Cheap Thrills follows the one-night descent of two friends participating in a series of escalating paid dares to entertain a wealthy couple with a twisted sense of humor. After down-and-out family man Craig, Pat Healy, simultaneously loses his job and is served an eviction notice, he runs into his long-lost deadbeat pal Vince, played by Ethan Embry, at a local dive bar. As the two drink their troubles away, they are lured by a couple celebrating a birthday. Anchorman's David Koechner and the innkeeper's Sarah Paxton, who shell out obscene wads of cash to Craig and Vince in exchange for taking on harmless bets. The party continues to a strip club and eventually to the couple's home, where the cash payoffs increase wildly as the challenges become more outrageous, hilarious, illegal, and even downright inhumane. I think that's inhuman. Downright inhuman. Whatever. Drugs and laughter give way to sex, firearms, felonies, and self-destruction. By sunrise, Craig and Vince will learn exactly how far they're willing to go for both big money and cheap thrills. Also, apparently it comes with a 16-page booklet of some sort. I'm not really sure what the booklet is. What's inside the booklet? It looks like it's cast credits, synopsis. Really interesting. I don't know. I don't know if that's really spoilers or anything, but it's kind of like that. I don't know. I'll give it a shot though. It seems interesting. It sounds interesting, and like I said, I've heard a lot of people talking about that one. All right, the last two. So this first one here, I kind of got suckered into this one, I feel, because of who is in it. I haven't seen him in anything new in quite a while, so I decided to pick it up and give it a shot. And it is High Voltage, starring David Arquette and Luke Wilson. I really like David Arquette. And like I said, I haven't seen him in anything new in such a long time. I don't know if he's done anything new in a long time. I know that he's been a professional wrestler for the last few years. But other than that, I don't think he's done any acting, besides this movie. High Voltage, an emerging rock band managed by industry vet Jimmy Clean, played by Arquette, strike a deal with record executive Rick Rowland, played by Wilson. Things take a sinister turn when the band's lead singer Rachel and her mother Barb are struck by lightning and killed. Rachel is brought back to life, but she's different. She's different than before. Lightning courses through her veins, and she uses her new strange electrical powers to drain the life from men, turning into an electrifying stage performance. But just how far will the band be willing to go to make it? And again, it's got a slip cover. A lot of these Blu-rays have slip covers. And this one's a Blu-ray, DVD, and a digital copy. But it's this weird thing where, like, the digital copy says it's on the disc. I don't really know how that works, but that's the DVD with the digital copy and the Blu-ray, which they're the same. But yeah, look forward to checking that out. Revenge is worth dying for, it says on the... Alright, last but not least, this one I have heard nothing about. I haven't heard... the High Voltage I saw on someone else's little walkthrough showing what their Dollar Tree had, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, that looks interesting because, again, David Arquette, I haven't seen him in anything new in quite a while. This one, I know nothing about. It just sounded interesting, and so I decided to pick it up because why not? I do know this kid here. I do know him. I've seen him in some other things, most notably the Star Wars game. It's the name of it's out of my brain right now. But it sounded interesting though. It says, Anthem of a Teenage Prophet says it's based on an award-winning novel. A teenager's gift of premonition becomes a curse when, after predicting the death of one of his friends, Luke Hunter is dubbed the Prophet of Death by a local news reporter. A media madhouse infiltrates Luke's life, everyone in his Michigan hometown desperate to know more. Luke holds everyone at arm's length. The relentless news crew, his mother, which is played by Juliette Lewis, his father, and even Faith, the girl who he has secretly loved for as long as he can remember, telling no one that the premonitions keep happening. Troubled and confused, Luke must make sense of his newfound abilities in this fast-moving tale of struggling youth. Like I said, sounds interesting. I dig it a lot. It's another one of those Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copies. And it's another one of those that the digital copy is on the disc. It's the DVD, and then that's the Blu-ray. But sounds interesting. Hopefully it's good. But I mean, if not, it was $1. So, but we'll see. But that is it for this Dollar Tree movie haul. Had, a good time going around to my Dollar Trees. I found a couple at all 3 locations, which was cool. And I'm glad that, we have 3 in Athens to be able to go to look for these. Because I wouldn't have found as many. I'll probably check back in like maybe a week and see if they get anything new. Keep my eye out, see if anybody reports any new restocks or any of that jazz. But if you enjoyed the video, thank you so much for watching. Give me a like if you did. Also subscribe. I'm trying to upload pretty consistently, especially the movie hauls. I do those pretty regularly. So ring the bell so you can get notified when I upload new videos. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.